Getting your kids to do chores isn't always easy, unless, of course, they like what they're doing. Annika loves working with her family in the garden. Hi, Annika. What are you doing?
I'm planting this basil, and I wish I had more room in my garden to plant other plants.
We're going to build Annika and her family a vertical planter. This is Kobalt Parent Projects. The vertical garden we're building will stand nearly 6 feet tall, have 6 rows and 2 sides. The perfect way to make room for an entire garden of plants in a small footprint. I'll start by cutting these 2x10 boards to make the frame and these smaller pieces to support the shelves. First, I make my measurements. Then I use the miter saw to cut the boards to the correct height. For the longer cuts, I run each board through the table saw, cutting out a recess where I'll attach the backing. Later on, these frame pieces will all come together at the top, forming a giant letter A. But first, we need to add our shelf supports. It's a lot of cuts, but after some fast work on the miter saw, it's not long before the pieces begin to stack up. I've now got 24 shelf supports. Time to screw them to the frame. Now, let's cut out our backing. The table saw makes the long cuts pretty easy. Sliding it on to the frame pieces, and a few screws later, I've completed each side of the A. Now that we've finished both our sides, let's attach them together with some cross pieces, then we're going to cut out and put in some shelves. I'll line up the sides of the frame on the ground and screw in the cross pieces. The cross pieces will hold the A together on the top and the middle. Once they're on, the frame is intact and able to stand up on its own. It's a bit tall for an 8-year-old, but hey, there's always room to grow. But right now, the planter's got no place for plants. Don't worry, Annika, I'm building the shelves right now. All I have to do is cut out the 12 pieces and slide them in. It's beginning to look a lot like a vertical garden. So the planter's really taken shape. Let's build the base and attach some wheels. The base is made up of 4 boards attached together. To attach them, I drill in some pocket screws. Pocket screws allow me to keep all the boards on the same plane, keeping all the joints strong. That's important if this base is going to hold the weight of the planter. I attach it to the frame and screw on our wheels. Now, the planter is mobile. Now that we've attached the base and the wheels, let's go ahead and paint, stain, and finish the planter. Before we paint, it takes some time to sand everything, so we start with a smooth surface. We've chosen white paint to stand out against the colorful plants Annika and her family will put in their garden. And we'll use a stain on the shelves for a refined two-tone design. Almost finished, but not before I slide in some plywood over the base and cross pieces to give Annika a place to keep her garden tools. Now that we've finished the planter, it's time for Annika to plant her garden. It's not long before she's got 30+ plants growing. Not bad for an 8-year-old gardener. Now Annika and her family will always have access to fresh herbs. Most importantly, Annika's got a spot for her basil. It's so easy for her to pick some and eat it with her favorite food, spaghetti. Hopefully, you've been able to involve your family in this project, and they're just as thrilled with their garden as Annika is with hers.